Hi there, Candice Lee Doucette from Epicure and Happy Healthy Women Etobicoke branch. I'm here to talk to you about meal prep and planning, and that comes from all the information that I've learned and participated and experienced as being an Epicure consultant, which is our meal prep, which happens once a week regularly, and is part of our EPIC challenge to eat regularly for 90 days and then continue it on like a normal habit through the rest of your lifestyle. Basically follow that nice 80-20 rule where you eat really well most of the time, and of course you can have a little snack here and there as long as you don't go overboard. So first let me move on to the slides and introduce myself and introduce what we're talking about. Okay, so as I said, I'm Candice Lee Doucette, and I'm pretty much love the idea of sharing with everyone how easy it is to be in the kitchen and make wonderful, healthy meals within 20 minutes. To get back in the kitchen, like I said, but to create and connect and not just think it's like, oh, I have to cook another meal again, or what's for dinner, or let's just order in or grab a bag of chips on the way. Like really have nourishment while you eat and nourishment while you're in there cooking, so that it's love and connection. It really can be a wonderful experience where you're feeding yourself body, soul, and mind. So it's a lifestyle. It's not about diets or anything like that, which just centered around real food, delicious, as I said, fuels your body, your soul, and everything. And it's about having the right quantities at the right times, so that you can actually be in control of what you're eating, control of what you're putting in your body and your health. And with all that comes all these other wonderful things like weight loss, controlled food cravings, increased energy, mental focus, ability to eat mindfully and slowly and enjoy your meal and have that really healthy relationship with food again. The science behind it is health is directly impacted by our food we eat. Over 80% of chronic disease can be prevented by what we choose to put in our bodies, and those habits we determine through that. The amount of movement we put in, everything that we do, in essence, to our bodies, whether it's exercise and food and mental healthness, that affects all the other diseases and issues that you could be getting or could have or may come. You can control that. As it says here, genetics determine 1/3 of your body weight, but the 2/3 of it is all up to us. We have the power to choose health. The science behind it, 4 pillars. Taste. Taste is everything. If you enjoy eating it, you will eat it. And quantity, the right amount of food in the right combination. So if you're having a nice balanced meal where it has some fiber and protein and veggies, and a little bit of healthy fat, if you eat that in the proper proportions, you won't be hungry right away. You won't want to be snacking, because in essence you should stay full for about 4 to 5 hours. And that is where we come into the whole eat 3 balanced meals 4 to 5 hours apart, and you don't need to snack. So there's no need to have those afternoon snacks. And quality is all about eating the right foods. So good, healthy, wholesome foods, nothing that's been processed or preserved, just real food. Basically, it's like basically what this slide is really just talking about is know what it is that people are trying to feed you out there in the corporate world, out there in the grocery stores. A lot of the food that's out there are preserved foods, or that quick food, or grab this and you will give you energy, and all that is full of sugar. And that's why it gives you the energy, because it pulls you up. But then within a few minutes to an hour or so, you're crashing because it's all about sugar. And that's not what you want. Eat real, and you got to eat real food and keep away from that sugar for quite a few weeks until your body kind of just detoxes from all that sugar, and then you realize that you really don't want it and you just want real food. And as back into the quantity, as I talked about earlier, about having protein and veggies and complex carbohydrates and healthy fats, this is basically what we're talking about. So 20 to 30 grams of your protein, good protein, lean protein, veggies, half your plate should be full of different colors. Like your plate should be colorful. Lots of reds and yellows and greens and deep greens. and complex carbohydrates. So not just like starchy carbohydrates, but really good carbohydrates like good, nice brown rice and starch, like your potato is fine, sweet potato, things like that, but don't eat a lot of it, of course, as it says, a small amount, and then some healthy fats. So olive oil, avocado, things like that. And in small quantities. It's all, you don't need a lot, but you do need the fat as part of the whole meal. Frequency. As I said earlier, having balanced meals 3 times a day can help you actually stay on plan with yourself so that you don't gain a lot of weight, because what ends up happening when you graze or have little snacks here and there, you think, well, that doesn't count because I only had a bite here and a bite there. But they do, they count up, and they will actually affect your ability to, one, stay off of things like sugar and sodium and chips and junk food and processed food and all that, because you keep entering it into your body, and that's what you think makes you full, when really what it is you just need the fully balanced meal. So as we mentioned earlier, which is the proper amount of protein, veggies, complex carbs or fiber, lentils, things like that, and some healthy fat. And then quality. So this is huge, right? So if you don't want to put empty calories in your body, you want to be eating real foods that fill you up and give you what you need to do to move along and get your day going, fill you up with energy, make you feel happy and healthy. So really good foods. And all this comes down to is plan, prep, and portion. So if you plan and prep your food and portion it into the sizes that you need, one, you won't feel like it's going to take too long to make dinner the next night, because it'll all be there ready for you. It'll be portioned out a piece of protein, some veggies, and some rice or something, and you just throw it all together into some kind of meal, whether it's one pot, like a stir fry or a curry, or you baked it up, you use our steamers, for example, or something like that, and you make a nice meal. That's what this is all about. And if you do this regularly, it'll become a habit. So if you do it once a week for an hour or so and prep your food, or when you get your groceries, but things like that, you'll become a habit and you will do it. You'll love doing it. So a few tips from me, and that is create a weekly meal plan. Put that out where everyone can see, a whiteboard on the fridge, something, so everybody in your family knows what they're eating all week long, and you don't get all these questions of what's for dinner, or you come home and something's not ready, or you order in or something. It'll all be ready for you right there. While you're planning your meal, make sure that you, one, go through your pantry, see what you already have so you're not wasting food. Two, check your calendar and see what you're doing or your family's doing, so that you're planning based on what people are doing or what you're doing, so that you know that you make a quick stir fry on the night that you got to run off to one event or another event. And then if you're actually home enjoying yourself, or you don't got anything to do, maybe use a slow cooker or bake some ribs or something, that kind of idea. And another tip would be cook once, eat twice. So make a big pot of something, whether it's chili or a stew or some soup or a curry, again, as I mentioned, or pad thai or anything like that. You can make a large amount and either freeze it or portion it off and have it for lunch the next day. Breakfast is actually one of the easier ones to prep ahead. You can make a whole bunch of pancakes or make a little smoothie bag. So all you gotta do is dump it into the blender, and away you go. You can make we call them hero cookies, but they're pretty much like having a oatmeal on a little cookie, overnight oatmeal, things like that. And desserts. Everyone wants a nice little dessert here and there, and that's great. But if you portion it into small sizes and freeze them or have them aside, you'll get that little taste of sugar or sweetness that you're looking for without overdoing it. So follow the portion sizes, like use the Perfect Petites, for example, things like that, or little hot quarter cups of pudding and put them aside, and then you're good to go. Basically, it really can be just like an hour for you. It doesn't actually have to be that long to do prep. The other why I say that is because, say, for example, when you go out and get groceries, come home, but give yourself an extra hour when you're doing groceries, so that you actually don't just stuff it all into your fridge, but you chop it all up and you portion it out and put them in little freezer bags or little whatever bags whatever kind of way you like to freeze. But it's portioned, so it's not like the massive tray of chicken or a big bag of broccoli or whatever it is. It's in portion sizes, all ready to go to make any of your meals. You just grab it and either dump it into one pot, as I said, or go ahead and make whatever it is you're making, but just portion it out already. So when you come home and you're hungry, you've got your protein and your veggies and everything ready to go. And there's tons of other tips and things that I could walk you through, but it'd be great if we could just, you ask me what questions you're really looking for, what ideas you need, and then I can walk you through all the little tips and stuff that I have, and then maybe we can come up with some new ones for you. Here is an example of what you would actually get. Part of being Epicure Challenge. We have a guide that shows you how to build your own Nourish Bowl, build your own balanced diet. It tells you what you can swap out, for example. So if you're someone who doesn't eat meat, no problem. As you can see, there are tons of lean proteins out there for vegetarians and vegans as well. It gives you multiple versions of veggies and starches. So if you can't eat one, try something else. You can stay away from gluten. It's pretty easy. We are all gluten-free, as you know. And there's tons of different healthy fats you can out there. And pretty much it's the same for any of these, but sometimes people, you just want a variety of what you can put together. And that's these options here, which are build your own Nourish Bowls and build your own balanced dinner. Here is an example of what a meal plan would look like for the first week. So there are smoothies, Nourish Bowls, dinners, Greek yogurt, pizza breakfast, things like that. There are tons of options, and we have all these recipes on the website, so you're welcome to go check out different recipes and make your own meal plan and mix it up. And then a grocery list, what you would write down for a grocery list. This particular meal plan and grocery list, I can give you a sample of it empty, and you can go ahead and either save it or print it out a few times and use it for your own meal plan. Just message me and I will send you a copy. And as I talked about before, we do have an Epic Life all-in collection, which would help you get started for your first 90 days. It has a journal, it has a guide, it has little portioned out scoops for you, and it has at least 13 different seasons and spices along with some bit of protein powder and a tea. Basically, it's all the things you need that they mention in the guide to get you started, but of course you can change it up and do whatever you like. I'm in the middle of this right now, and I love the 90-day journal. It's amazing. Okay, so there you go. I appreciate you being here, and if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them.